Faders of the Lost Art.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on? Welcome to Faders of the Lost Art live at Namm 2025. Big shout out to Cloud Mics. Thank you for sponsoring and having us out here at the booth. Appreciate you guys. I'm here with some heavy hitters, yo. If you guys don't recognize them, y'all been living under a rock.
A big rock.
Literally.
Boulder.
Yo, start from my left to my right. Cheese.
Hello.
Murda Beatz. Dro. Wavy Wayne. Let's go. Having all these folks on a panel, this is legendary. Nobody's done this before. This is some G shit.
Nah, facts.
How
Legendary.
y'all feeling? What's good?
I feel good, man.
Yeah, I feel real good to be sitting up here next to all these legends, man. You look like what's that thing called? Mount Rushmore? You know what I'm saying?
real.
All right, we doing something.
Yeah. No, there's like millions, diamonds, plaques, everything sitting at this table.
Light work.
And diamond plaques.
Yeah, yes, sir. 4X, 5X,
Got some diamonds.
whatever you need.
I 3X'd on Trump coin, so.
Hey, let's
facts.
go.
So,
Hit
XRP.
the like,
3 times platinum on a Trump coin.
hit that like if you fucking hit big on Trump.
Facts.
Shit.
Water.
Oh, shit.
No Diddy.
Shit.
Hey, come on, man.
Shit, so what's the latest and greatest what we've been working on? Murda's got plugins. If y'all haven't seen Murda Beatz plugin, that shit's dope.
Bro, that shit is going crazy. My boy just said they're mixing the Bad Bunny album on that shit.
Damn.
Like,
that's crazy.
Bro, that's crazy.
Hell
Made
yeah.
all the way to Puerto Rico, man.
Shit.
Yeah.
yeah, originally was as a sample of plugin, and people are throwing it on the master bus.
Yeah, like I made it for producers, and now it's like a week after it released, I saw someone mixing a Netflix show with it, and like they were tagging me and shit. I'm like,
Murda
man, I
Melodies.
made this shit for producers. They're like, I kind of like did my whole workflow. Like you could reverse, you could pitch up and down, you could halftime, you could like EQ it, you could do all this shit in one plugin, and then people started doing it on vocal stuff. So
Yo, that's
shout
lit.
out to them, man.
And the
That's
user
appreciate it,
interface is really fun. Looks good, easy.
That's
Very
dope.
cool.
What
I'm late to the party, but I'm about to jump on it now. And look, since I'm out of
Hell
here.
Murda
yeah.
Melodies,
Hey,
yeah,
real
bro.
shit.
Murda
That's what
Melodies.
this podcast is really about. Is like just pulling that like one little plugin out the corner of like wherever you ain't see it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
man.
Like I use a lot of little, especially with Dave. Dro's my boy. Like School of Dave Pensado.
Yep.
Like he likes to use a lot of little one-off, little companies and like something you've never heard of. And man, there's so many cool things out there that you
Yeah.
never heard of. So that's really what I'm like. Hey, what's that one little,
Yeah,
you
for
know?
sure. I think we're all looking for that edge, a little bit of sauce, a little bit of something different when we're in a place where it's just all so similar. So, I think walking these halls and meeting the people and trying to stay ahead of a curve or learning what's coming or what's been happening or how it's being elevated is such an important piece, right?
For real.
To keeping that forward momentum.
Yeah, I've been trying out this new plugin Leslie Brathwaite put out with Safari pedals.
Yeah.
It's like that low end bull.
Yeah.
That's dope. It's like literally.
I heard it's actually dope.
It really is, bro. Like he took his whole like chain that he do to process the low end 808s kicks, all that, and it's gonna make your low end like
It's called
jump.
Safari.
It's called the low end bull, but the company called Safari pedals.
Yo,
It's like
nah.
guitar. It looks all like guitar pedals.
Yeah.
All their plugins are guitar pedals.
Psychedelic
Sick.
looking, man. They got all kind of animals. They got
Yeah.
But yo, to what Cheese was saying, I feel like a lot of us can get to that 90%, right? But
For sure.
what takes us to that extra 10? That's where really like
Yeah.
the secret is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The sauce of who you are and how you can become the next thing is really just that extra edge. So I feel like all these companies, Murda plugins and like the Bull, these little things can keep you like set you aside.
Yeah, technology's always been a huge part of where music's gone or where it's going, right?
Yeah.
And then the original ideas and the concepts we have to make it cool.
Facts. And a lot of the things that I use, at least, like I don't use them in the way they were intended to be used.
For sure.
Yeah,
I'm a big believer on breaking the rules. You know what I mean? You learn the rules to break them. And
Facts.
it's a
Nah,
huge
for
belief.
sure.
Facts.
Nah, for sure though. Like, bro, I came up on FL Studio. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
you can crack that thing on anything. You can
Yeah.
just do your thing. So I don't know, just like software and all that stuff is just such a big part of the game. You know what I'm saying?
Come out to Namm, y'all. If y'all haven't been to
No,
Namm,
for
y'all
sure.
need to
Pull
make
up.
it at
Walk the
least one
hallway.
time in your life, and your life will
At
never be
least.
the same.
No, it's got to be more than once because this is my second time, and I was like, I really wanted to come back here, just it never
Yep.
worked out the last few years, so I'm happy I'm here.
But it just takes that one time to get you hooked.
Oh, it's amazing.
That's a fact.
This
Bro,
is my sixth
anyone
time,
making music, like anyone making music and just like, there's everything here, anything you need. You want a fucking guitar, you want a fucking pedal,
A saxophone,
anything.
look,
Yeah,
whatever.
like,
You
you could
got
probably find some
1,000.
other shit here too. They'll probably like say that TV over there or something, like anything. It's like Costco
They're
for
definitely
music.
selling
that's a
it.
fact.
They don't want to take it back home, but no, the networking for me is like the biggest thing, man. I come out here
100%.
as I run the Pro Audio store, so I got a store wavyproaudio.com, and we deal a lot of these companies, you know. So
Right.
I'm coming out here like in a different capacity than I did the first time, where I'm like, yo. Let me put this in my store. Let me get these D&Ds in the store. Let me,
Right.
get these clouds in the store.
Right.
Like, that's what we at.
Yeah, you
And these-
sourcing.
That's
Yeah,
These are all
exactly.
companies that are
Yeah.
trying to push
Yeah,
the line,
absolutely, man.
right?
That's
They're
one
trying
of
to
my
push the
favorites.
limits.
No, but,
Yeah,
there's,
thanks.
but it's like everything in here is really good though. Like
Facts.
it's like
Yeah.
like the speakers, the plugins, like anything, the patch bass, but like the mics, like everything in here is incredible. So it's not like there's nothing that like we could literally use anything in here.
Facts. Right now. Look, Leslie Rothway literally just mixed a Pharrell song like 2 days ago on the floor. Like he
sure.
did you he told you I'm
Nah,
telling you,
I
he's like,
mean,
yo, he went to the
I would've
vocal
been.
booth because he had a deadline, and he like, yo, I need to just use these monitors when everybody leave.
Before we came out here,
Yeah.
I pulled
Oh,
the
that's
laptop
fucking
up,
lit.
went into the patio, played the 2 records before we hopped in the whip.
Yeah.
Just did the whip. You know what I mean? But do you do off it of? All right. So when you get to a place where you know what you're doing, you didn't even need the speakers. I knew I needed the EQ at the 3.5 down because the guitars said were harsh, right? I knew that I needed the vocals up, that dB, and it was just okay. 90% of the time when you have an accurate interpretation of the art and where you want to go, you get there all the time, right? So I think for the youth, I think it's really important to know where you want to go, how you want to get there, and then take the steps to achieve what you hear in your head, right?
Sure.
Yeah. Nah, facts. And just to speak on that, like I do a lot of education stuff. I'm always teaching through the YouTube, and that's definitely something that I always stress. Like, look, take your time. I even recommend like writing it out. Like if you about to mix a record,
Sure.
listen to the rough mix, listen to that reference, and then write down a plan of attack. Like you
It's
be
really
so
important.
much focused before
Yes.
you jump in there.
Definitely.
Man, that's a game changer for me since I started doing that.
And
And
it's
I
just a
actually do
checklist
that.
at that point.
I do that at the end of the record
Yeah.
too. So when I'm like, oh, should I turn this in or whatever? That's one of my questions is how do you know when a mix is done, right?
Yes.
So, one thing for me is goosebumps, but the other thing is, I'll listen to it down, but I'm not touching the mouse
Yeah, for
at
sure.
all.
It's
I'm not
definitely a
reaching for
feeling.
nothing. I'm gonna listen to it down, and I'll maybe write. The 1 or 2 things that sticks out real nasty to me, and I'm gonna go get those things first, and then I'll maybe
And then step back again and do the process again until you don't get that. Because then otherwise you start tweaking. Now you done mess something up and threw something else off.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't think a mix is ever done. It's like it's one of those things that's like forever moving, and it's just like when you like whenever like it's ready to come out or like whenever like the deadline is or whatever. But like
Right.
I don't think a mix is ever done.
And it kind
That
of
was crazy. I just came from a podcast, and one of my boys, Dennis, was on there, and they asked him that question, and he said, "A mix is never done; it's just abandoned."
Right.
That's
yeah.
right.
It's just
I have a
like,
different answer to it though.
Okay.
It's never
Crazy.
done. So, but when it comes out into the world and you give it to somebody, it's perfect.
Yeah.
And I'm so fast about it. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, I'll be flipping anything I can in my imagination, and then all of a sudden, it's that feeling,
Yeah.
and I hit bounce immediately.
For me,
And
it's
then
like when I stop hearing the mix.
Yeah,
That's when I know it's
yes.
done. You know what I'm
And
saying?
just start hearing the song.
Yeah.
And when you get that approval by the person you're working with that you trust, if Murda says that shit's fire,
Yeah.
then that's it. And if we both agree on that, and that feels good, and the rest of the world gets it, then you know what I mean?
But
That's
look,
that place.
They giving artists freedom now to like re-upload though, man. So have anybody ever faced that to where like the mix is out and like, yo, now they need to do a change and go back to the
100%.
DSPs and replace it?
I've
love that,
like shut
actually.
down like big engineers in situations like that too.
Yeah.
Just because like if something's going, you don't even want to change it sometimes. Like
yeah, I feel that.
just
I
go
feel
with the
that.
have
flow,
to
how it was
evaluate.
made and how it was out. Like
That's right.
Keep the demo.
And you go back to like the old days, some of these old rock producers and like the Nirvana days, they would actually put in little fucked up thing to see if you would catch it.
Yo, so I got a question for y'all. So like,
Yeah.
you know how speaking of rock, like a lot of the rock albums, now when you go to like these historical rock bands and stuff, they have the same albums from like the 70s, 80s, 90s, but now they're remastered. Like what's your take on like the remastered album? Because I still think like there's something so important from like the original like
just
art that they
listened to
put
one.
out. You know what I mean?
I just listened to a new artist that did it, and I was a little let down on the feeling. I think it's a fine line on how you have that emotional connection to what those are. I've never been a believer in making it sound to a place that feels that is better than that feeling, right?
Yeah.
So I think the clarity and the loss of the degradation in the equipment or the technology at the time. I think it's also how long it's been around and cycled on your playlist forever. So it's like, and then there's the other times where it's like, I really love that we have the access and availability now where it's not a hard vinyl out, CD out, and that's the copy. And you can switch it out if there's something that feels right in the moment to how you really want to get it done, because you can get lost in a place where it's like, well, I want to continue working on this. And you have to be really strong about what you believe in to say, no, that was where it was at that time. And that's what it meant.
Yeah, like I feel like those original mixes are just so much like I don't know if I want to hear a Nirvana like updated mix from 30 years later. Like it's like, bro, like the time and the place they were in at that point to put that mix like and to feel like that was the perfect mix to put it out. Like
that's like saying we should repaint the Leonardo da Vinci to add brighter colors.
Let's touch it. Let's touch it up.
Yeah, like it don't make no sense.
Because tattoos are bright now.
It's crazy.
There's a lot of
tattoos
emotion.
you can touch up though.
Touch the tattoos up.
There's a lot of emotion in those imperfections though, right? Like it might be little timing discrepancies or pitch discrepancies. Like when you get too perfect on stuff, that's when you start sucking the emotion out. And
for sure,
and we had the ability to do that. And some of us are like,
and that timing changes. That timing changes when you get the clarity. You know, now all of a sudden you're hearing these rhythms that were lost in the combination of
change the groove.
Right?
It's kind of like you watch an old TV show now on your 4K 42-inch, you know what I'm saying, 60-inch joint. It don't hit the same because it wasn't made to be seen all that detail, you know.
Yeah, preserve the art,
but
bro.
it's lit like that though, like like 90s movies and shit. The way they look, that's like amazing to me. Like
they look better on the little CRT TV though. Like when you start seeing all these, like bro, that now you're like, damn, it wasn't that good. Like,
facts.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And your favorite actors aren't as pretty or handsome as they were.
Everything don't need to be 4K. Look.
Crazy.
8K now, fuck.
Right.
For real.
What's something y'all been doing on the low end lately that sets you apart?
Low end? I think once you get the clarity of a mix, I'm rocking pretty heavy off the master. So once I have everything really dialed and tight, then I will run my boosts off my master. But in order to get the clarity off the low end, I'm definitely just clipping, adding saturation and getting that to cut through on all platforms.
I love clipping.
All mediums.
Clipping's the best shit. Every time I cook up, my interface on 100, and then my other interface is in the red every time.
You use a soft clipper?
So what I've been doing is I just started using soft clipper like 5 days ago.
Crazy.
Okay.
And then just like the legacy settings in FL Studio.
For sure.
That's like.
Yeah, I mean, on FL, I was running the fast distortion on 808s a lot. And, I mean, a lot of the Atlanta guys do that. But as of recently, I've been using the Fruity Love filter. Man, I got a preset on there. I'll set it to you, bro. It's crazy. It sounds so much better.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, the Love filter on there is definitely slept on.
No, for sure.
I'm still a big fan of just using that stock lo-fi. Add a little distortion.
Lo-fi is crazy.
Yeah, man.
But definitely what Cheese was saying, like the master, man, like you could get a lot out the master for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
I've been using the tube screamer from Waves.
Okay.
It's got a couple extra little drive knobs.
Definitely went through my tube screamer phase.
Crazy.
Yeah, but it's not. Again, check out the one from Waves. It's not the 2-knob joint, the 3-knob joint. It's like it has a mix knob. It has like an extra whole little heat.
Do you guys like mix knobs on like low end, like 808s and shit like that?
Mix knobs.
It depends because it can start to introduce some phasiness, man. Sometimes, so it depends.
Yeah, I don't like it. I'd rather do less on the plugin itself than do more and then try to mix it down because I feel like it gets a little.
Well,
I don't know.
I guess if you looked at it like parallel compression, New York compression would be a form of mixing
for sure,
right? With if you looked at the send as so drums would get slammed. 20-to-1, fully cranked, and that would add a lot more clarity and punch.
For drums,
in the low end.
I do that too. But
you
not
can do it
bass.
in vocals too.
I don't do it for bass though. For vocals, I'll do it for.
Yeah, a distressor. Slam would add that saturation. Parallel, you get into phase issues, but I've also made a lot of money with phase issues.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
It's that feeling, bro.
So it's
Fuck
like
It's all
That's
about
right.
the emotion, man.
Yeah, I tend to parallel more on bass than to do mix knob, like you said. Mix knob is I actually.
I mean,
try to
even parallel,
almost
I feel like
everything,
it's very similar. I just, for bass wise, I like to, whatever I do it on the bass, and I don't like to use the mix knob or nothing. For drums, vocals, music, I'll do it, but just for bass, for some reason, I can't get it to feel as full and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, not lose that authenticity of it.
I just slap two 808s together.
There you go.
There you go, stack them up.
that's the blend right
That's
there.
crazy.
That is.
That's fire.
Murda, do you have any secret sauce on your plugin? Like any little like hidden features that, or a way that you use it that most people don't know about?
Not really hidden. I just feel like the whole plug-in's some secret sauce. Like everyone should just go on Slate and check out Murda Melodies, man. It's game changing. For producers, engineers, if you mixing a Netflix special, they doing that shit, mixing that Bad Bunny's album, like beat anything. So
Murda Melodies, man.
Yeah.
And we out here with this booth. This one changed my life. This is a piece of technology that changed everything about this microphone, right? In combination, and it's almost a completely different mic when you add it to the chain, right?
Facts,
so I think that is a piece of what we're talking about on how, like, you know what I mean, we're elevating what it is.
Yeah.
You know, you can get such accuracy on an SM7 running through a cloud,
Oh, yeah.
right?
That thing's a game
Every
changer
time.
for sure.
Fact. And I like
all
the
these mics.
new clouds that he came out with, like I think maybe a year or two ago, that you can actually start changing the tonality of the mic, switching up the
it's
impedance
incredible.
and stuff like that. Yo, that dope. You ultimately getting a new microphone with a flick of a switch.
Literally.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna go get one right now. So
Yeah.
Let's go get it.
Yeah.
appreciate y'all, boys, man.
Definitely,
Yeah.
I
Right on,
appreciate
man.
y'all. It's been
Good talk.
real.
Peace.
Yes,
Faders of the Lost Hour out.
Thank you guys.
Yes, sir. Wavy.
Don't forget to share, comment, like, and subscribe. And see you next time on Faders of the Lost Art.